Did you know the kales are not only delicious but also packed with nutrients? Let's dive into the world of fresh kales. Well, in this video, you're going to see how I harvest my fresh greens, kales, from the garden and then cook them up right in my kitchen. Many people struggle with cooking and preparing greens properly, often not knowing how to make them flavorful and enjoyable. I'll take you through my process of harvesting the greens, showing you tips on selecting the best leaves. Then I'll share my favorite recipe for cooking them. So join me as I harvest my beautiful kales. When you're harvesting kales, first thing you want to do is make sure you start at the base. As you're harvesting from each kale, you want to go around it as you're coming up. So you start from the base and you work your way up, gathering the largest outer leaves is best. And it's also best to harvest kales often. The more you harvest your kales, the more production you are going to get. So here I am just harvesting these kales because I'm so excited. This is the season, it's springtime, and if you haven't started your garden planting or any of that, please get started before it starts getting really hot, because kales with very hot weather, they don't do well. And I'm actually surprised that I haven't seen any type of bugs, worms attacking my kales yet. So it's very important to harvest your kales as often as you can. And if you find that you're getting more production and can't keep up with it, it's okay. Just harvest and cut them up. And the good news is you can store your kales in the freezer so that you can cook them. So here I am done harvesting, and I am getting ready to wash these kales. First thing you want to do once you get your kales is head on over to the house, go clear up your sink. I always put my vegetables in a container. Get you a big bowl that you can always use. So what you want to do is turn up the water, cold water. Do not wash your vegetables with warm water because you're going to deplete the nutrients from the vegetables, from the kales. So you're going to remove the leaves from I call it the stick, the branch. So it depends on how hard your kales are. Sometimes I leave some of the stick there because mine are pretty soft. When they come out of the garden, they're very fresh. So usually I don't really, remove the whole stick. But you do want to inspect your greens. You want to inspect your kale. Make sure they're okay. Look at it. It's very important because as time goes, with warm weather, all of that, there's going to be some insects, some bugs, some worms that are going to hide in there. And you do want to wash really well and make sure you inspect and look through them. And so I go through one by one. There's some that are going to have discoloration, which is okay. And there's some that are going to, as you can see right here, there's some that are going to have that. Some part of the leaves is already like dried up or it's yellow, it's bad. I usually just go ahead and clip that off, remove it. It's okay. And also you want to make sure that you are keeping an eye and making sure there's no bugs. Okay, I love gardening, guys. I really do. And at first, I was not okay with bugs. Okay, but over time, I've gotten comfortable with them, but I'm still afraid of them. Okay, I don't really like worms. I don't like any of that. So once you finish all that, as you can see, we're washing, we're done. It's looking good. I'm going through every single one of them, so I'm gonna speed up this process. So as you can see, here I am completing the washing process. And so, like I said, very important to inspect your vegetables. And once you're done, you can just pour out the water, and the sticks that we have here that are left, I usually take them and dump them in the garden. They're very good to use as a compost, and that has really kept my garden going, guys. So you can just have a little basket where you can just throw that in, so when you're ready to go out in your garden, you can just dump it out there. And so we're gonna get started here. Next, after washing really good, we're going to shake it off a little bit, because sometimes vegetables like to hold water. So I allow them to drain a little bit, and then I move them to another part. So I'm going to show you guys how to cut your vegetables. There are very different ways you can cut kale. You can chop them up. It depends what you're making. If you're making a salad, you don't have to cut them the way I'm cutting them. But right now, because of the way I'm going to show you guys how to cook them in this recipe, this particular recipe for cooking kale, this is how you're going to cut them. So you want to gather a couple of pieces of kale together, as much as you can hold in your hand. Just one hand, as much as you can hold real tight in one hand. Then you're going to get a knife and carefully chop these up. You want to be careful. If your knife is super sharp, please be careful and pay attention. Don't get distracted like me. Like, I have children and stuff, so sometimes I'm moving a little fast, and you just want to be careful you don't cut your fingers. This is very important. And so once you have this cut up really nicely the way it is, so as you guys are seeing me chopping these up, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the nutrients this kale has. Kale is very rich in antioxidants, and it's also an anti-inflammatory. It contains anti-inflammatory properties, which can help reduce inflammation in the body. Also, it supports heart health. This I didn't know. Kale helps lower cholesterol and maintain healthy blood pressure. I did not know this at all. You know, all the time I'm like, okay, greens they're high in iron. That's important. But I really did not know they can lower your cholesterol. Another thing, also, it's a great source of vitamin A, C, and K, and as well as, calcium and iron and other essential minerals. Very important for your bone health, because kale's calcium and vitamin K, they contribute a lot to your bones. And another thing is they can aid in weight management. Okay, so kales they're low in calorie, they're high in fiber, which can help you feel fuller and satisfied when you are trying to lose weight. This is good. This is really good. So, like I said, kale, you can make salads out of it. You can add it to your salad. You can add it to your smoothies. You could just blend it up. Sometimes I go to my garden, I grab like 1, 2, 3 leaves and I add it into my smoothie. So I know, okay, I'm getting my greens for the day, you know? And sometimes I implement it to my kids too, my children, I have children, and sometimes it depends. Some of them like vegetables, some of them don't. But if you implement this into their smoothie, it's, trust me, very good for them. Very, very, very good for them. So once you have it all chopped up, we're gonna need some onions and tomatoes. So of course I already had some onions chopped up and some tomatoes already prepared, and you can see this looks so beautiful and so delicious, guys. It's so nice and green. So let's go ahead and move on over to the stove, where I've already prepared the pan that I'm going to use, and we're going to saute this amazing, delicious kale. So as you can see here, I have prepared the pan and it's ready for the next step. Next to it, I have some chicken that I am currently cooking also. My children love chicken. So here we're going to place these onions in a pan. I use olive oil. So usually olive oil, I didn't want to put it in the pan and let it burn because it's not good to let olive oil burn. So I put the onions first, and then next I am going to bring some olive oil. Yes, so as we're waiting for me to get this olive oil, kale is very important. And also another tip for gardening is you want to make sure you're watering your kale morning and evening. It depends on what type of soil you have in your garden. So always water your kales, because as we get into the hot summer weather, you're going to require more water. We're going to put a little bit of olive oil, and it depends on how much oil you use. Here's the thing with me with cooking is I don't measure my things. I eyeball it. I don't know if some of y'all eyeball while cooking. If you do, please comment below with raising your hand, because I eyeball everything. I'm telling you everything. So if somebody was to tell me to write a recipe book, I would tell you the ingredients, but I would not know how much each item to use. So I would not have a particular size, to the T. No, I don't have that. So even the chicken that I'm cooking right now, I seasoned it really good, but I cannot tell you. I can tell you the season, what season to use that my kids really, really love, but I can't tell you how much to use because I eyeball everything when it comes to cooking. And so once you allow the oil and the onions to mix together, and you want to cook between medium and low heat, no high heat, because everything will burn. Especially if you're using gas, everything is going to burn. So you're gonna monitor the temperature as you're cooking. And so once you allow the onions to release the aroma, oh my goodness, the onions, once they start smelling, that is the sign that it is time for you to put the vegetables in here. As you can see, I am like, oh my God, my onions are almost burning, because I have children and sometimes I have to run and attend them. So we put this kale in the pan. Once you have your onions really nice and they've cooked really well, you're gonna put some kales into there. So you're gonna add some more. The beauty about kales, any type of vegetables that you cook, is right now it looks like it's too much, but in reality it's not. Like once they start steaming, they reduce in size. They actually shrink. So when you're chopping up your kales, make sure you especially when you go in the garden, make sure you get enough. make sure you get enough. It may look like it's a lot, but in reality, once you start cooking them, it's going to shrink. When you're making a salad or something else, I mean, that one, it doesn't really, you can, look at the size and be like, okay, this is okay. But when you're cooking, I would advise to get a whole lot more, especially depends on the size of your family that you're cooking for. So as we were talking about kale and the health and the benefits, kale also supports bone health because it contains calcium and vitamin K. Also, eye health. Also can actually help with weight management because it's a low calorie, high fiber content. This makes you fuller. So I'm adding salt. Salt is optional. There's some people who are on low sodium diet, and so you can put however much salt you need based on your needs. So usually, like I said, I eyeball everything. Because over time I've been cooking like that, so I've been really getting good at it. Like I just automatically, I just take that salt and just shake it up and voila, that's the right amount. But another advice is when you're cooking these vegetables, you might want to taste it. You might want to taste it and be like, okay, is this tasting okay? Do I need to add more salt or do I need to reduce? Don't put too much. So always taste what you're cooking because you want to make sure that you're not putting too much salt in there, especially if you don't have the measurements. And so once that is done, we're going to add tomatoes. So here it is with tomatoes. Tomatoes, for me, I blend my tomatoes like a tomato sauce kind of, because my children, one of my sons, he doesn't like seeing tomatoes in his vegetables. So blending tomatoes is another good option that you can actually use. Yes, as I was saying, tomatoes, I blend them because especially if you have kids who are picky and don't, like tomatoes or seeing tomatoes in their food, a little trick for the moms out there, blend your tomatoes. It works great. So anyways, you are going to pour the tomato paste that you just made or blended the tomatoes. You're just going to pour it on top and you're going to go ahead and cover the kales. The other option is you can actually, fry your onions and fry the tomatoes together and put the kales on there. That's another option for this type of recipe that you're cooking. You don't have to actually blend the tomatoes, but blending tomatoes really adds more flavor. I feel like it tastes really good. So kales are also beneficial in iron and vitamins A also. So the key to cooking kale is not to overcook it, as it can make it tough and bitter. A quick saute or steam is all you need to bring out the natural sweetness. Kale is definitely also a great addition to soups and stews and adding a burst of freshness and flavor. So you want to make sure that you don't overcook it. It's very important to, make sure that it's very not overcooked. The moment of truth is when you finally get to sit down and enjoy your home harvested kale, and it's a truly satisfying experience. The vibrant colors and delicious aroma are a feast for the senses, and the taste is always a revelation. There's something special about eating food you've grown yourself. It's a connection to the earth and to your own hard work. So here I am stirring, mixing it up really good, which is really important to get all the flavor going. The transformation from garden to table is a magical process and one that never gets old. As you take your first bite, you can't help but feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. The flavors are always more intense and satisfying, and when you've grown the ingredients yourself, and kale is no exception. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting out, there's nothing quite like the joy of eating your own homegrown kale. From harvesting to cooking, the process of enjoying homegrown kale is a rewarding experience that never gets old. It's a chance to connect with nature, to get your hands dirty, and to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And of course, I'm adding a little bit more salt because I had tasted it and it just tasted like it needed a little more salt so the kids can really, really enjoy it. If you've had any experience with kale or have any favorite recipes, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to check out my other videos where I will explore different ways to cook with fresh vegetables. Thank you all so much for tuning in. You can actually enjoy by serving it with whatever dish you want to serve it with. You can eat it with some chicken, and you can eat it with what we call, where I come from, we eat ugali, and it's, something that is very popular in Kenya. And so it's a very simple meal, and you can never go wrong by adding kale into it when you have chicken, kale, and ugali. And here it is. Here's the reveal for this amazing recipe. I am going to show you guys ugali and chicken and kale. You can never go wrong by having these amazing vegetables. So please hit the subscribe button, and thank you guys for watching. And please comment below how you utilize your garden vegetables to live a healthy life. Thank you.